a worse consequence for him because he's the one that's supposed to make sure none of that stuff happens. He's given a state-issued gun. He's given a state-issued body armor. He's given a state-issued vehicle. He's supposed to protect and serve. He's responsible for the entire city he's watching over. So if he has a higher level of authority, he should have a higher level of accountability.
That way, it'll make them think 3 times about murdering somebody when they have that in the back of their mind.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
There were people who were.
Go ahead.
I sort of have 2 questions.
Their show.
Their show. Their show. It's everybody's show.
The first one is, and I know you said you didn't know anything about like why they had the large guns, but if they had those guns, that means they're probably preparing for some type of shit to go down. And yet, the tear gas that was like on Sunday, it was 10 years expired. So I'm wondering maybe why the funds went towards guns, or like if you could maybe find that out instead of like other riot gear, because that becomes
I'm not really looking forward to buying more tear gas. No, I'm really not. We're not. I mean, that's, we're not planning to buy more tear gas. Trust me, the tear gas for me, and I struggled with that. And again, I wasn't here. You have to let the people on the ground. I struggled with that. Sure, yeah. My question really, and we're going to have this conversation internally and externally, is, how do you directly prevent someone from hurting someone else, destroying things? We don't use rubber bullets in Lansing. We don't, and I know others do. We don't want. We are all against police brutality. I don't want the police officers going in and then all of a sudden something happens. So the question really, how do we do that better without...
Don't put on a curfew!
And then...
Sorry?
No curfews if you don't like police brutality! That's a carte blanche reason to be brutal to us. Putting up a curfew is carte blanche for the police to be brutal to people. It gives them a time to start doing it.
Let me say this real quick. And I think that I'm using an analogy, right? You have a nice yard. If you have dandelions growing in your yard, what do you think an effective way of getting rid of that dandelion is? You think just cut it? It's gonna get rid of it? Or you think if you just clip it, it's gonna come back? Right, because you didn't get the root up. Oh. Okay, all right. Hello? Okay, what I said was, he has a nice yard. We all saw his yard. He got a nice yard, don't he? Yeah. Looks like it's done professionally, don't it?
It's my wife.
Oh, his wife is pretty good. So, if everybody, this common knowledge, if you have a weed, right, and I'm talking in it. Oh, if you have a weed, right, and you just cut the weed, right? You just snip it, right? What's gonna happen? Why?
You didn't take care of their problem.
So we're talking about tear gas. We're talking about how do you effectively stop people from breaking shit and hurting people when they're mad. How about you don't make them feel like they're gonna get murdered in the first place? I think that's the root. So if you don't have police brutalizing and murdering people, people have no reason to riot. You have no reason for the tear gas. So, the moment that George Floyd thing happened, right? If this shit wasn't, sorry, I'm not meaning to cut. My neighbor? Oh, if that stuff wasn't happening, right here too, then we wouldn't be so, we would be mad and we would stand up in solidarity with them. But at the same time, the rage hits home so hard because it's happening to us here too. So if you wanna find a way to not have to use tear gas on us, I think the thing would be to not make us want to go off, not push us to the point of where we don't give a fuck anymore. When you push somebody, if I slapped you every day for 20 years, eventually, somewhere in the 20 years, you would get tired of it and do something to me to stop it, wouldn't you? Would you let me abuse you for 20 years? Okay, so why? That's the thing. We've been abused for years and years and years and years and years, and we're tired of it. See what I'm saying? Black people are tired of it. So we're at a boiling point, and I think this boiling point is worse than the '60s. This is a boiling point where you got a bunch of armed black people. You got a bunch of people with. We used to be. I think there's a lie told in statistics. I think the Census Bureau needs to realize that a lot of us black people don't sign that shit. We see it, we throw it away. There's a lot more of us here than you think there are. When I say you, I'm talking about the establishment that you represent, the government. There's a lot more of us here than you think there are. There's a lot more of us that are legally armed than you think there are. There's a lot more of us that are willing to go crazy than you think there are. And the way to fix that isn't to try to fight with us. Because you're going to get to a point where you're going to keep throwing tear gas at people, and the guys that are sitting at home with legal firearms and shit that are tired of it are going to come out and start shooting back. You see what I'm saying? So, and I arguably, if you look at all of the, and there's going to be a lot of whites that are armed to the teeth. You know, NRA people, Michigan people that don't fear the police, that are more armed than the National Guard, that are going to start fighting back. So the way to stop that is not to throw tear gas at us, you know, not to try to restrain us or restrict us. The way to do it is to stop us from being brutalized and murdered and lied to, like with the lady's son, you know, who had a mental issue, and it was shackled hand and foot in the back of a van that he couldn't possibly have opened the door to himself. You see what I'm saying? The way to get us to calm down is to handle that shit. Then we won't tear up shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, us, we haven't tore up anything. Since Monday, we've been protesting, we cleaned up. We even cleaned up shit that we didn't drop. You see what I'm saying? To show that this is our community, we love and we care for it, and we're not just destroying shit because we're mad. But at the same time, when the police came to us, if they wouldn't have listened to us, if they would have acted aggressive with us, it would have been a problem. We wouldn't have backed down. It would have been a fight. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to provoke or challenge anybody's egos. I'm saying that as human beings, we are armed legally, and we ain't going nowhere, and we have a right to be here. So if they would have acted aggressive with us, we would have acted aggressive back in defense. You see what I'm saying? The way to remove that whole scenario is to stop acting aggressive towards us in the first place. Start paying attention to us in the first place. Start helping us in the first place. Stop taking our money and putting it towards shit that doesn't apply to us in the first place. You see what I'm saying? What's going on in these nicer neighborhoods? Their schools get nicer and nicer. Their roads get nicer and nicer. Their parks get nicer and nicer. Have nothing to do with me.
Right.
But the tax dollars are allocated towards that. Why? I'm not trying to pay for your neighborhood. I want to pay for mine.
Yeah.
I think that's the root. 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 The root is those things, and the root is those things getting fixed. You know, you coming out here, I'm gonna be honest with you, we talked about it. We talked about if you were to come. We talked about if you were to give us stuff like chips and water when we were in front of your house. We all discussed that, right? And we all know that, like we heard that lame apology. Their apology was bullshit. We heard it. We all agreed that we think it's bullshit. Anybody disagree with that? No. Okay, we didn't buy into that apology, not even a little. 0%. You know how the thing says loading? Okay, it says 0% as far as how much of us believe that apology. So I wasn't even trying to be funny, but so I'm saying that to say that, you know, the chips and the water or whatever else, you even coming out here, that means zero to us. You may think you did something by doing that. You may think showing up here is something we're going to give you credit for. We don't care where you show up at. What we care about is that stuff is done. We know Monday is when stuff starts, and we're about to march to your house right now.
March with us.
Because we want you to see.
March with us.
We want you to see. We want you to see that we're serious. We're gonna come back tomorrow too. The point is we're not gonna stop coming once you tell us something's gonna happen. We're gonna stop coming once we see what we asked for in action.
Yeah.
And once we see laws and policies in place to protect what we asked for being in place and the longevity of that. We don't want it for 6 months. We want that permanent. See, that's what, just like there's a law against murdering people, right? Michigan law, there's murder, first degree, second degree. We want laws to protect those schools for us. We want laws to protect those programs for us. We want penalties in place for if funding is ever taken from those things. You see what I'm saying? At some point, the Community Interaction Fund was drained completely to zero.
How much are you willing to defund the police, Andy? What's your opinion? 47 million or whatever is what it is currently? What are you committing to defunding the police?
We're going to have a very, we're going to look at the budgeting, we're going to look at all of the items that you have been talking about. Mental health services.
That ain't, hold on. That ain't what he asked you. He asked you a direct question. He
don't
said,
have
in
a
your opinion, how much would you take from it?
I don't have a specific number right now.
Well, like, hypothetically, like...
You're our mayor, Andy. Give us your opinion. Defund the police. What are we here for?
You gotta, here, take this. You gotta, I'm telling you, in this forum, right, in this place, you have to be transparent. And not just that, but we look at you like this, right? Okay, like, I'm gonna explain something to you. When I first protested, this is what it was. Just me. Like this. Right there. Right? Just me. Then he joined. Then Kenzo joined. Right? And people started coming. Right? I didn't ask to leave these people anywhere. They just started following me. Right? Once they did, once I was out there and I turned around, he said it to me. He said, dude, look behind you. Look behind you. Right? Because it was just, what, 5 of us? And he said, dude, Paul, look behind you. And I looked behind me, and it was hundreds of people standing there. And I said, get off my neck. Get off my neck. I can't breathe. Right? When I saw that all those people were looking at me and following me, you know what that did to me? It took my opinions of my life and what I wanted to do with my life and made them irrelevant. I, at that point, became a servant to those people and responsible to those people that were following me. The difference between you and I is you were elected to do that. You knew the job you had when you took it. You knew the responsibilities. In this forum, if they ask me for something, I don't look at it. If I take off my shoe right now, you're gonna see a big ass blue blister from all the marching I've been doing. Both of them. My legs hurt, my back hurts. When I used the bathroom, it was dark colored because I turned down water and stuff so that they could have it. You hear me? I turned down food today so that they could have it because they're looking at me for leadership. And now they're my responsibility, just as much as my children are. So it's the same thing with you. You know how your daughter is your responsibility? They're just as much your responsibility as your daughter because of the office you hold.
Come on now.
So if your daughter says, Dad, what do you think about the Chicago Bulls? You think they're a good team? You're not going to say, well, I don't really know and I don't really want to answer it. You're going to answer her motherfucking question. It's your daughter. Answer theirs the same way. Think, stop talking for a second. Because this is what I saw, right? This happened with me and Sharita, right? She'll ask me a question or she'll say something to me she got a problem with and I'll shoot back. And I'll say, I don't like it when you talk to me like that. And she'll just come right back at me. She wouldn't stop, and I wouldn't stop to think, like, let me think about what this person that I'm accountable and obligated to and responsible for said to me, and actually come up with a response that I actually thought about. And then a response that actually meets the need that the question supplies, right? So when he said that to you, your answer came pow, fast. You didn't stop and be like, and think about it, right? And answer him straightforward. Answer your obligation straightforward. Answer your responsibility straightforward. So right now, he just answered the question. You remember what it was? Okay, take a second, 10 seconds, and think about a legitimate answer. A number is what he's asking you. Take a second and think about it. And don't give him bullshit, give him a number. Put yourself in his shoes. If you were him, right? You're a public servant. Am I wrong about that? You're a public servant. Okay, an elected public servant, right? So that's the person you're supposed to serve right there. So put yourself in his shoes. Look at him. Look at him. Put yourself in his shoes. Look at the fear and the pain in his eyes.
Because he's feeling forced.
And then answer the question as his servant.
To be completely honest with you, I do not have a specific number right now. We will look at that budget and we will see what is being spent on different things, and we will identify dollars that will go towards mental health, that will go towards
That's
social
not what
work.
he asked
that
you.
will go, I don't have a
Can we get a
specific
minimum?
You can't think of a single number.
Don't understand how
In your
you
own
have no
brain, you
Hey.
can't think of a single number.
They're not.
Can
They're
anybody
not,
hear
they're
me?
not
You can't
asking
even
for
think
like
about
10 grand.
it.
Hold on, you guys. They're not asking
Because
you
if I
to
do
commit
that
to
right
a
now,
number
Right.
right now. You know, it's not about. They're not telling you, oh, give. You know, they just want to hear an ideal number from that.
Have you
perspective.
thought about our problems at all since the call to action?
Yes.
And if you have, why can you not put a number to how much money you believe, in your opinion, needs to be defunded from the police and put back into our communities? I saw
10%.
that budget. There's 0% community engagement, and you should be ashamed of yourself that that exists as a real number. 0%. He asked you with tears in his eyes, and you stood there looking defensive, and you couldn't think of a single number. Not a single one popped into your mind.
And you said we.
Yes.
You,
Hold on, stop.
your opinion.
Stop. Yeah, we're not asking for your administration's opinion or a number y'all came up with. We're asking for Andy as a man. If he were to look at the situation as the people, what number would you think would be appropriate? Now, I know you feel like you can't say that because if you do, then you might be putting that implication on you or got your administration as a whole to actually perform that, right? So, but the thing that I want you to understand is we don't give a fuck about that. No disrespect. I just talk like that normally. You might not, but like when I said that yesterday, when I said I would get the fuck over here and be there for my daughter, and I said no disrespect to Tammy, said no disrespect, like sarcastically. Yeah, we got it recorded. You can say it. So yeah. You want me to play it for you?
I'm not disrespecting.
Okay, so I'm just saying I cuss, so that's why I'm not meaning any disrespect, right? But put yourself. I'm talking about you as a man. You, just you right there, not who you work with, not the titles and the names. You as a human being. If you were in our shoes, if you were the one sitting over there with the defund police sign, the angry, hurt individual. You obviously ain't hurting over there more so the job. I bet no police ever do anything mean to you or any of your neighbors. I bet they never sit there and watch you in front of your house playing with your kids. Just sit there and stare you down.
Huh. Or
That's what
stare
they do
at
to
you
me.
in a store, or
Or-
racial profile you.
Right.
You know,
never.
like
In Myers today, I was next to a white guy with a green shirt with tattoos about this tall, tatted all the way up and down, right? Then I was next to a kid with glasses, he was white. We all were at the section with the championships. I grabbed this shirt and this pair of shorts, right? I'm holding this other guy, big old thing over his arm, and this guy got two shirts, right? The lady, white lady, right, walks directly to me. I'm between them, says, "Oh, let me see those. Those need to be tagged." And put security tags on both my shit. Then put security tags on nothing else. Why do you think she did that? She looked at the nigga in the store. Like I
Looked
might
at the
steal
black
some shit.
man.
See what I'm saying? No, I know I'm a black man, but that's not what I am to her. I'm not a man to her. I'm a nigga. I'm a criminal. I'm a
There you
thief.
go.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said she looked at the nigga and thought he might steal something. You see what I'm saying? I want you to exit your nice home on Moore Sugar Drive. Exit whatever vehicle you're driving. Exit your shoes. Exit your clothes. And enter mine. Enter his. And then answer the question as a man. Because with you, and I'm going to warn you, and goodwill. The answer you just gave him, that you just gave us, the we, that we haven't thought about, that we haven't got to, I'm not asking you, I'm asking you. Right?
Sure.
If you go to court and you get charged with some shit, right? You gotta stand before the judge alone. You're not gonna be able to say we anything. If you get sentenced, convicted, it ain't no we, it's just you. You are being convicted by your people. Charges are brought up against you by your people right now. So understand where you at and the severity of it. Don't give him another bullshit answer. Because if all you're going to give us is bullshit answers, we have no reason to continue to try to talk to you. See what I'm saying? At that point, we need to be trying to get you out of the position you're in as much as we can. And we need to cause as much noise as we can until you want to remove from that position. And I want you to, just like I told the news earlier, you see the people here and you think that's all of us. Understand, there was another protest of a couple hundred people up in the East Lansing area. That's a whole separate group from right here.
I come all the way from Grand Rapids.
Exactly. We had people coming all the way from Flint because they know right here is the capital. It needs to happen here first before it happens everywhere else.
That's true. That's true.
And we got thousands of supporters that meet us on the street when we're walking and give us water and help us out while we're walking. Join us with cars to protect us. We got thousands of supporters on social media right now. So understand the gravity of how many people are here right now.
Where are the police?
And
They're supposed to protect us.
right.
They're not here. They should be blocking out the protesters. So
And-
we don't get hurt because we are the
And yesterday we had to
I came
protect
here myself.
ourselves.
I didn't want the police.
but the police are out here patrolling. We don't want the cops here.
Yeah, that red truck
We don't
almost
want
drove us
that.
over on the way home.
I came here myself. I didn't want the police.
Hey, let's not get away from the question, right? He asked you, right? What is a realistic number to take away from that to be able to fund these things?
I got to start $100,000.
$100,000 to start.
What?
Out of millions?
10%.
To the police.
11 million. The number you pull out of your pocket
I have
is
not.
100,000.
I haven't looked at each individual item for the budget. I'd like to look at
11 million to the community.
Hey, listen to this. Say that again.
This is, you say you don't have a number. This is an executive proposal with your name on it. Your executive proposal. We shouldn't have to look it up and do your job for you. You knew we were here. You knew we were talking about it. $27 million going to the police. You've got 11 million total going to all community services. That's neighborhood work, that's street work, that's stadium work, parking work, $11 million. You say you have to buy new police cars because the roads are so bad? Fix the goddamn road.
Now this is the same shit that cops did to me. Right? See now, and let me say this since the camera's on me, I ain't gonna do nothing to you physically. But you and me have a fucking problem now. Because you looked me in my face and bullshitted me. Because you just said you didn't know to him, and you said you didn't know to me, but right there, that was your decision. That's what you said.
I don't.
Why didn't you say that in my face right here? Why did he have to look up? Stop. Let him speak. Why did you, me and you, man to man right now? Paul Birdsong and Andy Shore. I asked you what you thought as a man. That's what you thought as a man right there with your signature on it. Why didn't you repeat that to me? Why you ain't tell me the truth?
You asked, I can tell you our executive budget, but that's not what the budget
Who made that
was.
decision?
Your name's on it.
Your name's on it.
We proposed that budget 6 months ago.
Andy Shore proposed that budget.
Okay,
So you
6
lied.
months.
So why did Andy Shore make known what his intentions was right here?
Right there. The question was how much are we going to reduce it?
Right. And that's what you wanted right
You said
there.
100,000 from 50
I
million?
said I will start with 100,000.
That's
You
not
said
enough.
higher.
That's
This is
nothing.
only-
Hey, everybody stand up.
Yeah.
At this point, there's video of what just happened, the conversation. Just like yesterday, you said that you didn't get sarcastic with me, like you felt disrespected when I said the F word when I was talking to you on the phone, but we got video of you saying it. We got video of the whole conversation. Dog, I'm not gonna talk to you like I got any respect for you no more because I'm trying to give you some respect, but I'm losing it real fast. It's like I'm trying to catch it, but it's just going, right? You just sat there in my face. I asked you to put yourself in as a human, to be honest. You could have been like, well, you know what? I had already set a budget to give 11 million towards everything in the city and 50 million towards the police. You could have told me that. You knew that. But instead, you bullshit and said, we don't know, and then you threw out that little $100,000 number. Instead of just being straight up and telling me what you already did. Now, I sat here and told you I already did 5.5 years in prison, right? I sat here and told you I was charged at 14 as an adult. I got out when I was 19, right? I kept it real with you, right? I told you who I am, right? Why couldn't you keep it real with me?
I did not know you were asking me about the budget.
What the fuck was the question?
We reduced the budget.
Budget. You just said, stop. You just said you didn't know I was asking you about the budget. How much are you going to reduce the budget? In both conversations, what's the word? The key word is budget. You could have been straight up with me.
Had I known you wanted to know the budget, we
Did you really come
Hey, at this point,
in complete disregard for
That's
the
just
people you're
incompetence,
supposed to be
dude.
serving. That's
Right.
why you've been asked to resign.
mad for the
Because you
job?
don't give a shit.
Yeah, if you don't even know your own numbers, how can I trust you to do anything?
hey,
You should resign right now if you
Listen.
had any fucking
He
shit.
knows he's lying to us. He's lying straight to our faces. He knows.
listen.
Sure do.
What we about to do is what we came here to do, right? Because we didn't intend for him to show up here. We intended to march to his house, right? We were going to say respect our wishes or resign, right? And it seemed like we're being bullshitted, right? So currently, my opinion, right? And I think my opinions, like I said, when I got on the ground, I didn't expect everybody to follow me, right? But they did. When I asked people, I went into a couple people and said, hey man, let me ask you a question. I don't want to seem weird or nothing. But why do you get on the ground with me? Why you follow me? You know what they said? Because you're saying exactly what we're feeling. And you're saying it in a way like you don't give a fuck, you're not scared. You're stepping right to the cop, right to whoever's there and saying it to their face on our behalf. So we're riding behind you, right? And you speak for us, right? And I think, let me let that go. I want to make sure you hear me clearly. I think I speak for everybody here when I say I feel bullshitted. And I feel like continuing to talk to you right now serves me no purpose. Because you ain't gonna keep it real with me. You just got caught bullshitting. And you looking at me, kind of spit in your eyes like you don't understand what I'm talking about. When I know you do. You got a college degree, don't you? Yeah. You're a pretty wealthy man. You got kids, you got a wife, you got a nice place, you're married, right? Okay, so you know what's up. You ain't stupid, you're not an idiot. So instead of like bullshitting me, keep it real with me, that's all I ask, right? I come from being a criminal, bottom of the bucket. I didn't plan to be here. I didn't want to be here. I didn't even, when they first was talking about it, I told Sharita I didn't want to come. I didn't want to do this. But because it was thrown on me, their responsibility was given to me, I'm doing what I got to do. You ran for the office you got. You wanted this responsibility. You wanted the same responsibility I got. You actually wanted it, dog. You actually ran for it. You worked years to get it. It just got dumped on me. And you bullshitting me? Really? So, if they want to stay here and ask you questions, that's fine. But we both know that's not going to happen. I'll see you at your house.